Mic check, mic check, mic check. What's going on, everybody? My name is Ricardo Acosta. How's everybody doing? Let's see. All right, everybody. Welcome. I started this about 10 minutes early. We're going to get this going around 12:01. Let everybody trickle in, and let's hang out for a bit. How's everybody doing? It's been a long week, that's for sure. Been pretty busy with a lot of things. I have a lot of things in store for y'all. As you saw on the previous screen, this is no longer Planet Fandalore. It was a difficult decision. I am transitioning to being called Filmtopia. And let me give you a little background as to why. We've got some dislike for the new name, and I totally understand it, especially if you came in with Planet Fandalore. But good news is Planet Fandalore is not going away. It's just transitioning to a subsection of this channel. That's actually going to be the name of one of the shows found here on this channel. But the overall name and the overall experience here will from now on be called the Filmtopia. Ulises Pina, he's in the chat. Definitely in the chat. I'll add one of these. He says boo to the name. Also that the other logo was better. I don't disagree with you there as far as the other logo. Just know, though, that this is just temporary. What you saw on the previous screen, that was just something I mustered up today and threw it on because, again, I'm no longer Planet Fandalore, so I just had to switch it up slightly. But the good thing is that it's coming. The new stuff and the stuff I'm working on is coming. I'm working with a few people to try to get this all looking nice, feeling good, and I'm pretty excited about it. And so the whole chat does not like this. Does not like this change. And I am sorry, but I promise you it will make sense, and it's going to feel a lot better once everything's in line. And I can't wait for you to see it. And I promise you, Planet Fandalore is not going away. It's actually just being now used as the name of one of my shows. So we're at 11:55. We've got about 5 more minutes. Hopefully, if anybody's out there, feel free to trickle in and hang out for a bit. So we're gonna get the Disney Plus up and running. That's actually something I should do right now. Great idea. And you know what? One more, just because we got one more boo. And yes, you're very right, Ulises. As far as only day ones remembering the old name, I promise you, remember that name, and I promise you it's going to be beneficial for you. Might be doing some giveaways, and you never know. I might ask something like, what was the original name of this channel? And I think you might be the only one that's going to answer it correctly. So let's see. Okay, so let me boot up some Disney Plus. See what the vibe is here. Say it louder, say it louder. Let's see. We have Ulises still in the chat. Awesome. You need a t-shirt? Listen, don't worry about that. Because you are the best fan that I could ask for, you get a free t-shirt. Just go ahead right now and leave your size, and I will get in contact with you. And then I'm going to pose a little question here in the chat while we still got a little bit of time, but where's everybody from? Go ahead and drop down in the comments where exactly everybody's from, and we'll see what happens. All right, really quick, I actually want to test something out. So, as you may know, this is my second time streaming, and I'm going to tell you straight up, this is so fun. Like, I've never done this before prior to last week, and oh my gosh, this is like super, super fun. It's super interactive. It feels different. I come from like the video production world where everything's done with a, press record and then later you edit. Doing it live is so much different, and as far as like me, I really, really enjoy it. So, and Ulises Pina says he's from his house. Perfect. Thank you, my man. And we're about 2 minutes out before we start this stream. Disney Plus is loaded up, fam. Perfect. I don't know if you guys know this, but when Mandalorian season 2, the last episode, I actually it was the first time. It's not going to happen with Wandavision, at least not at these beginning episodes, but for the last episode of The Mandalorian season 2, it was kicking me out because the servers were so full. So that just goes to show how many people were watching that show. I'm assuming the finale for WandaVision is going to get the same treatment. So let's enjoy right now that we can start it right at 12. So I've also got it loaded up, Ulises. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to this. And don't mind the clock yet. I'll go ahead and start the clock when I press play on mine. So we are at 12 a.m. Let's go ahead and just load it up. But don't press play yet. Let's... All right, so we're going to press episode 3, and then I'm going to pause it at 000 once it loads up. Okay, so... All right, so if you're watching the screen, and just so you know, the reason why right now it looks like I'm a little confused is just because I got told my stream connection was a little slower, but I think that's because I went ahead and loaded up Wandavision. So I'm basically streaming and watching Wandavision at the same time. So my internet doesn't like that, but let me see really quick. Okay. This is what I'm going to do. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to load up Wandavision on my phone. And then, so it's not using up my internet. And then, okay, so let me turn this off. All right, Ulysses, just really quick. So if you can hear me, or I want to see how laggy this is, but go ahead and type in go right now. I want to see how quick it comes in. Okay. So you're just a little behind, but let me figure out how to. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start this. Ulysses, if you can see the screen, go ahead and when I press play, when I press this timer to start going off, that's when I'm going to press play on Wandavision. Okay. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, play. Okay. So just a little recap. This is probably the best part of the episode. That part of the recap. And we finally have color. Yes, the Marvel intro. This is what I come every week for. I love this intro. It's so reminds me of the good old days. Ooh. All right, come on, WandaVision episode 3. Let's go. Staying with the color, thank God. But it's still the sitcom style, so a lot of people might not like that. But like I said, we got to wait for what they're building up to. I mean, it's a beautiful looking show. I mean, this looks like it's shot in like 8K. Man, this reminds me of Even Stevens. The outside of the house, at least. The birds and the bees. Shout out to my friends. They're actually expecting a baby in June. Shout out. That's totally green screen. I don't like this one right here. Hey AT Max, I'm waiting till it starts. I'm already about 6 minutes and 15 seconds in right now. 6 minutes and 20 seconds in right now. Just wanted to let you know. Basically, I'm with, if you see this timer on the screen, that's the place in the episode I'm at. So right now I'm 6 minutes and 38 seconds in. But if you want to catch up with me, you haven't missed much. It's just still sitcom stuff, and yeah, so. Braxton Nixon contractions. I learned that from Friends. Shout out if you know the reference to Friends on that one. All right, finally something weird's happening. Was that a glitch on my screen, or was that the... Yeah, Ulysses, just it's a tough one if you're not into this type of especially like sitcom aspect of the show. It's a tough sell, man. I totally understand you. This is why I think it's so risky for Marvel to be doing this, because it's by the third episode they should have switched it up, because they need to like make it clear to fans that this isn't the whole season. This isn't what the whole season's gonna look like. Now, if it is, man, that's Marvel has some guts for doing that. So I agree with you. The sitcom aspect of the show, man, I totally understand why you don't like it. It's a tough watch if you're not into it. That's why I'm hoping between episodes, sometime in this episode and the next episodes that come, they get out of this and they start showing us like the freaky, weird stuff that I envisioned WandaVision to be. Because as of right now, it has no direction and it's straight up just a sitcom. And again, I don't know how much longer I can do this. So I'm right there with you. But I'll tell you this is for sure a different side to Wanda and Vision that I never got from the movies. They're like flexing their acting capabilities hella in this show. Oops. Drop in the comments if this show reminds you of anything you've watched. So for me, it reminds me of like the sitcoms from Disney Channel back in the day, the Lizzie McGuires, the Even Stevens. Let me know if this resembles anything for you. Oh yeah, that's what the stroke is for. Good catch, man. I did not even like pick up on that. Quick prediction. How many kids do you think she's going to have? Is it one, twins, triplets? I think she's going to have twins or something. Oh, Stork. Good call, man. That's a sick name, Mr. Vision. I thought she was Super Saiyan for a minute. Oh, wow. We got one. One boy. This reminds me of when in Star Wars when Padme gave birth. Yeah, it does look big. And apparently strong. Baby's name is Tommy. Oh, here comes another one. Good call, Yui. Two baby boys. All right, some freaky stuff hopefully will start happening now. Yeah, very weird comment. Oh, that's true. Wanda is a twin. Oh, snaps. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, snaps. Whoa, here we go. Ultron reference. Oh, sh. Pietro. Come on. Is that an upside down cross? Oh, snaps. Come on, tell us. Babies are crying in the background. It's getting freaky. damn it, they didn't say it. This is getting creepy. This got straight up Conjuring vibes. Oh, snaps. The hell? She just got spit out of like the simulation. Oh, no. Wanda obviously sent her somewhere. Oh, shit. Wait, so now she's like out of the simulation, I think. I think this right here is real life. Oh, it's over. Damn it. Right when it was getting good, they cut it off and it's over. Come on, man. I'm going to keep watching a little bit of the... I was going to watch a little bit of the credits, but I'm just going to scrub through them, see if there's anything there. Nope. So basically, 26 minutes. This episode's 26 minutes long. The rest is credits. Okay, so just like last week for episode 1 and episode 2, this is my reaction. Man. Yo, shout out to Ulises for staying in the chat, staying here, watching this with me. Thank you to, I believe your name is AT Max. Thank you also for being here. Oh, man, okay, so I guess where do I freaking start? Man. Okay, let me gather my thoughts a little. Let me fix this a little. Okay. So, basically a quick rundown of what just happened. We plop into episode 3. Now it's fully in color. The aspect ratio though is still 4:3, which is the box aspect ratio. You still have the sides cut off, and essentially we plop right into where Wanda and Vision, realize they're having babies, and they're realizing though that because they're abnormal people, abnormal beings, abnormal creations, their birth is about to accelerate. So the birth of their child or childs is going to accelerate, like, I'm talking like an hour, and she's going to deliver. And so, again, this show has proven itself to its name brand. It's staying true to the fact that it has and I'm talking a lot of weight behind their name brand. They're doing this to us. They're basically making us watch a sitcom for 20 minutes, and then they give us something good between 20 and 26 minutes. So we get 20 minutes worth of stuff that a lot of people, I can guarantee you, do not like or do not enjoy, such as Ulises. Yeah, this is a great point right here. If episode 4 doesn't get good, I'm going to stop watching. Brother, I totally understand why, and I don't blame you. Let me just play devil's advocate or angel's advocate right now and just tell you the reason why I think Marvel's so comfortable doing this. If it wasn't for the weight and the success behind Marvel, they would have no chance in hell to be able to pull something off like this, because they're absolutely, banking on the fact that they have loyal fans, which, shout out to the fans. But man, even for someone that's like a diehard fan like myself, watching it sitcom for more than half the episode is a little tough. Especially now that it's 3 episodes in, you would have thought they would have shed that off a little and started, really digging deep into where they're going. But the fact of the matter is that they haven't. I know that this is all building up to something and it's going to pay off. So I do hope that that's episode 4. So, you stay around. And a lot of other people stay around. I really hope people don't give up on the show, though, if episode 4, happens to be another one like this. Like I said, I enjoyed it, but I also understand what the disdain for watching a sitcom for more than half the episode. Now, hear me out. If the episode was like, let's say arbitrarily, it was 50% sitcom and 50% like actual, stuff that we get excited about, then, I think it would retain a lot more people. But the fact that it's going up to 70, 80% of the episode, I mean, it's like, come on. You got to give the fans that aren't as loyal or aren't as enthusiastic about this part, you've got to give them something to chew on. And they kind of did, basically, with this episode. Yeah, shout out to William. William says he got the chills when she said Ultron. Same here, man. I totally felt the same way. It was the highlight of the episode, basically. It's like, okay, they gave us, again, 20 minutes worth of sitcom, but they gave us, 6 minutes worth of, the good stuff. And you're right, that Ultron part was just, it was perfect. And then, yeah, William, I also think we're an episode away, finally, from the modern day MCU. So this is what I wanted to talk about. So obviously the best part of the episode starts happening after the Ultron comment. And once that comment's made, you see everything, the glitch in the Matrix, the whole simulation starting to fall apart. My prediction, and probably everybody else's prediction, is that this is a simulation. Either Wanda's putting this all together, someone is inducing this onto Wanda, but I think it was finally proven that this was entirely a simulation because of where that lady that spoke about Ultron, where she ended up at the end of the episode. If you see, it was Wanda, or at least we assume it was Wanda that sent her away once, she made Wanda uncomfortable, and she ends up in this field surrounded by, military personnel, from what we presume, or AKA S.H.I.E.L.D. And so basically this is definitely a risky bet on Marvel's part. I keep saying that, but I can't say it enough because I keep trying to put myself in other people's shoes, and this is something I feel a lot of people are going to walk away from if it doesn't straighten itself out by episode 4. And again, you can keep the sitcom aspect to it. I mean, we watched it right now. We watched the whole thing, but if you can keep the sitcom part, but keep throwing in those curveballs, those glitches in the Matrix, those uncomfortable situations, that's what's going to keep everybody here. But again, if there's a if there's still going to be more and more sitcom, or at least the majority of each episode being a sitcom, watch out, Marvel, because again, this is your first property in a year. and being your first property, a lot of people were really, really excited about WandaVision, and I'm still excited, but a lot of people came in thinking that it was going to be right off the bat, go into the crazy stuff, but obviously it didn't. Yeah, so check this out. William's saying Marvel has a huge enough fan base to do something like this. Totally agree. It's also why I believe a film in theaters would do very well despite coronavirus, because of the amount of people that need to see the movie. So, going on to the topic of the movie. So, if you guys don't know, WandaVision, I don't necessarily know where it's placed in the MCU as far as where it takes place, as far as after Endgame, before Endgame. But we do know that the movie that's coming out that's going to have Wanda in it is Doctor Strange's second movie, which is Doctor Strange Journey into the Madness of the Multiverse. I'm butchering the name, but it's basically Doctor Strange 2 movie, and it has all to do with the multiverse. The Multiverse of Madness. There we go. Multiverse of Madness. And that one's going to be crazy. If you guys, I don't know how you guys felt when the last 6 minutes of this episode happened, but I'm telling you, it felt very, it had a lot of inspiration from scary movies, from suspenseful movies, from horror movies. And word on the street is, from Kevin Feige's mouth himself, Doctor Strange's A Multiverse of Madness is going to be the MCU's first horror movie. Can you believe that? So again, at least for me, the way that it, the emotions it invoked for me these last 6 minutes, if I can get a whole movie worth of that, man, I'm super excited. Ulises writes, I think Wanda is doing this because she wants to have a normal life. Definitely. The only thing, though, with that is why, if you're Wanda, right? I guess I was going to say, if you're Wanda, why not make it just completely perfect where there's no glitches? But, we don't know. We don't even know if it's Wanda doing it. If you go back to episode 1, when we first figure out that they're in this TV set, when we pull out from, the world that Wanda's in, and we end up seeing somebody's shoulder and they're looking at a TV set, like a Black Ops style room. I don't know. That's where I'm kind of like, I don't know if Wanda is the one doing this. What if she's, someone's inducing this on her? What if someone's, controlling, pulling all the strings? We don't know who that is. And they really haven't given us much as far as figuring out who it's going to be. William writes, the calendar on the first episode said August 2023, which is after Endgame. Good catch, man. Great catch. Yeah, so there you go. We have a confirmation that this takes place after Endgame. And so, and we could assume that it was after Endgame because of the fact that, Vision is around, but obviously in this made-up world. And so going back to Ulises' point, this is where you got to assume that Wanda's doing this to console herself, to hide, to run away and not feel the pain that it must feel to lose, the love of your life. And yeah, so we've got William again. I totally feel you on that. Same feelings came through with the Beekeeper in episode 2. Yes. So the Beekeeper, if you guys aren't caught up on your comics, on your Marvel comics, and I'm not that caught up either, but I was reading that the Beekeepers are part of this organization in the comics, and they're going to have a large role to play if, again, they're the Beekeepers that are from the comics. So Keep an eye out for the beekeepers. Ulises writes, maybe she does not have the power because based on how large the dome simulation is. Good idea. Good idea. So are you saying like the simulation is just too grandiose in order to control it perfectly? If that's the case, I can totally see that happening. So here's a great point. How did the lady get into the simulation? So now this is where it strays away from you thinking, okay, it's Wanda doing all this and she's in her own little fantasy world. To now you start thinking, is this SHIELD? Are these ops? Are these, a bad or a bad organization? Are they doing this? Is she sedated right now? Because again, how does that lady get into the simulation but then gets immediately spit out when she messed up on something? Yes, Wanda became an orphan after Stark Industries tore down where she lived, and it killed her parents, hers and Pietro's parents. So yes, she became an orphan. She wasn't born an orphan though. Yeah, man. Hey, shout out to you guys in the chat. You guys make this a lot easier and a lot more fun. Being able to interact and be able to bounce ideas and comments and all these things makes this so much more fun. When you're basically just monologuing with no one there, it's a bit tougher because your thoughts start to scramble and wander. So shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait till next week. Next week's gonna get freaking crazy. William writes, I think Sword is sending agents into Wanda's morphed reality, one being the beekeeper and one being Gwendoline. That's totally a possibility. Now, the thing is, though, I wonder where they're going to... Well, obviously in the show, right? They'll just have to go backwards. But I was going to say, I wonder where they're going to explain how Wanda even got to this point. So what happened between the funeral of Tony Stark and now to where Wanda is here? So... And then again, how do you get into the morphed reality, right? So theories, right? We have, is she in a room? They found her and they've figured out how to tap into her morphed reality. Is it they actually have her plugged up like the Matrix? She's plugged in somewhere and maybe she's creating the reality, but she doesn't know that she's, under a spell or under a trance or sedated or something. Is there a bubble? I don't know if you guys have seen that movie with Natalie Portman. Can't think of the name right now, but basically there's this bubble around this piece of land, and when you go into it, life changes. Now that I'm talking about that actually makes a lot of sense. That's totally what is exactly probably happening. So if when you watch when the lady got kicked out, when she got kicked out, it was like this wavy type of like outer exterior of that bubble. So there's a good chance that she is actually in this morphed reality, but it's actually physically, seeable. You could see like the morph and the distortion in reality when she's in this bubble. That might be happening. Okay. I think she went, so William writes, I think she went to Sword HQ, resurrected Vision's dead body, then brought him to suburban town and morphed it into a 1950s reality, and time has been moving very fast ever since. That's very true. So one thing about the resurrection of Vision, that's the only part to that theory that I'm having trouble figuring out if that is the case. But I do agree with the second half of your thing, which is she went to like this town, just arbitrary, this suburban town, and she morphed it with her powers. So she went ahead and morphed it, and everybody inside is under this trance, under her spell. And obviously, you know, organizations on the outside can see that this is happening, right? I mean, for they found all the Avengers, so they can definitely figure out that there's something weird going on in this town. Yep, Ulises, totally a dome. A dome, yeah, a dome morphed reality. I'm trying to figure out the name to that movie I'm talking about. I'm gonna look it up really quick, guys. Natalie Portman dome movie. Annihilation. Okay, so that's the movie I'm talking about, guys. If you've seen Annihilation, that's a good reference as far as how to envision the morphed dome reality that might be placed over this one town that they're in. Let me see if I can pull up for you guys. Annihilation. Okay, so check this out, guys. I'm probably going to go mute really quick just because when I change it, I'm going to mute, but I'm going to watch. Check this out. Yeah. So spoilers as far as that one movie Annihilation. Yeah, Ulises, that is the movie I'm talking about. But let me pull it up really quick just in case you haven't seen it. Just to confirm. How do you spell Annihilation? Okay, so all right, so this is the movie I'm talking about. Basically, in this movie, there's this dome. You could probably see it right here. See that dome? So like when they walk into that part, when they go into this dome right here, it completely changes reality. Let me see if I can find a better Annihilation. I'm going to put dome. Yeah. Yep. So this is the dome that you can find in Annihilation, the movie. If you guys haven't watched it, I would recommend it. It's a very weird movie. So let's see. So yes, Ulises, that is the weird the movie with the weird alien. But again, spoilers on that. Maybe I don't want to spoil it. William, yeah. So that's exactly how I envision WandaVision as well. After you prompting me to realize that, yeah, they're in this dome morphed reality. Hey, Bob says Wanda is having a mental breakdown and Vision is fake and is going to help her. Well, yeah, right. If you think about it, I mean, Vision started off as an AI, or he was, you know, an AI when this whole thing started. But I totally get you on this, Bobby, that you're getting over it. Ulises also said the same thing. as I said earlier, maybe you weren't here for that, but there's just so many people out there that I do feel are getting over it as well, and it's a dangerous route to go down. William in the chat did mention though that a majority of the fan base will stick around, and I believe that. But again, if we're talking, if we want to talk about the risky business, this is definitely risky business. Again, thank God Marvel's gone, like, let's just arbitrarily say they have 30 movies. They've gone 25 for 30. Their track record, their batting average it's tip top. And like, yeah. Let's see. Who do we got? We got William saying, I think the toy helicopter she found in the bushes was a real helicopter that Sword sent into her reality and it got morphed into a toy. Oh, snaps. Like Ulises says, that's a good prediction. Oh, okay, Bob. Wanda's getting over it. Oh, okay. So you're not saying you're over it. Well, I at least got to talk about people maybe getting over it. But yeah, so you're saying Wanda is having a mental breakdown and Vision is just fake and is going to help her get over it. Sorry, that's what you meant. I see. Yeah, this is this chat and like being able to concoct these theories is a lot more fun than just me coming up with them on my own. Yeah, you guys are definitely picking my brain right now because it's given us so little, yet the possibilities are gargantuan, are endless. Just with little things such as the toy helicopter, such as the beekeeper, such as the desaturation to saturation. Pretty soon, I'm pretty sure. I guess what I was gonna say. Sorry, I read something, but I'm pretty sure what we're gonna see soon is it go from the aspect ratio being 4:3, the box one, to it's gonna start expanding out, and we're gonna finally get to widescreen. Bobby says he's responding to what I was saying earlier, how a lot of people might be getting over it because I misinterpreted his comment. And he's saying, no, I love the way Marvel is going and it's going to be amazing. Dude, I totally agree. I'm telling you, I'm waiting for the payoff, and I'm enjoying the ride as it goes along, but I am waiting very, very patiently for that payoff because I know it's going to be worth it. And again, this is just their first show, like Disney Plus series. This is barely their first content that we've seen in a year. We've got a slate over the next 2 or 3 years, I believe, that it's like 5+ stuff each year. I mean, that's insane. So Ulises says, are the neighbors part of Sword? I don't know. That's the thing, is we don't know yet. Maybe they're just pawns that were already there, or maybe they are part of an organization. But we'll see. William writes, I also saw a crazy different theory that I don't agree with, but is interesting. Let's see. Maybe Wanda is using barf technology to experience a life with Vision in VR. Oh. But then none of the other aspects make sense. Damn. All right, so the chat's getting lit now, so perfect. We got a shout out to you guys for staying here and hanging out with all of us, man. This is awesome. Bob says Spider Gwen is coming. I don't know, man. I don't know. I truly don't know. Because now there's just so many things being influxed into my brain that I'm just like, again, this can go a million ways. And speaking of a million ways, that's what Doctor Strange's Multiverse Madness movies is going to be about. It's going to go everywhere. So check this out. We've got, so William writes, I think the neighbors were people living in the 21st century that got morphed with Wanda's reality into people living in the 50s through 90s. Let me read that one more time. I think the neighbors were people living in the 21st century that got morphed with Wanda's reality into people living in the 50s through the 90s. So let me hone in on that last part. Well, let me address the first part. That's a possibility. The only thing is that who's prompted them now, though, to like make sure that Wanda doesn't find out, you know, because I guess what I'm trying to say is the neighbors and everybody in it, they seem very cognizant of not pissing off Wanda. So I'm saying if they were dragged into it, though, like, you know, unwillingly, and they were just dragged into it because they're, you know, they were in the vicinity, then that one would be hard because they should also not have like they should be in real time with her. So as she's creating this world, they shouldn't really have knowledge of what's gonna happen, what already happened. You know what I'm saying? Ulises writes, but why didn't the lady let him say what he wanted? That's what I'm saying. So, but really quick, let me address the 50s to 90s thing. So that got morphed with Wanda's reality into people living in the 50s through the 90s. So that's what that 50s through 90s thing is, where it kind of helps my theory about how we're going to start seeing the world and the way, you know, we watch it right now. We're watching it on a box screen. It's going to get wider and wider and wider and wider, and that's how we're going to end up in the 21st century. Let's see. Bobby writes yes. I think he's agreeing with William. William also writes, the lady I think is Agatha Harkness, a witch from the comics. Not sure what she's doing in Wanda's reality, but she knows what's up and will become a major character in later episodes. So you're saying, I can't remember her name in the show, but her name's Catherine Hahn, the one from Step Brothers. Shout out to her. She's amazing in everything she does, but she's really good in this one. So I have to catch up on Agatha Harkness, but she does seem witchy. She seems that she's maybe part of this manipulation. Bobby writes, what if it's a loop? Oh man, I don't know about you guys, and if you've seen The Matrix, but when I watch The Matrix, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time, but I get so introspective and so like I just start questioning reality. I start questioning our existence here because it's just so mind numbing and mind bending to think like, what if, you know, we're in a simulation? You're saying, what if this is all a loop? And you're saying Sword is inching closer. So just in case anybody out there is unaware, Sword is the counter product to Shield. So Shield are the good guys and the good organizations, or how about this, the good, and over here is the what would be considered the terrorist organization for Marvel, just in case anybody's wondering. And yeah, Bob, I mean, that's why we do have to figure out like who exactly is pulling the strings, because it's definitely not Shield. I mean, why would Shield be partake. Yeah, why would Shield want to be harming Wanda like this, or why would they want to be doing, stuff like this to her? So if we're gonna assume anybody's doing this to her and it's not her herself, yeah, we got to assume that it's probably the bad guys, unless the good guys already went through like a traumatic, crazy blow up with her, where, because obviously she's in mourning, there's a lot of, maybe there was like an instance that happened right before she created this reality, or they put her in this, and the reason why they put her in it was because they needed to like sedate her to make sure that she doesn't do some crazy stuff. Oh my God, you're absolutely right. So William, I'm tripping, man. So Shield is gone. Shield got dismantled. You're absolutely right. Nick Fury built Sword because it was the follow-up to Shield. I'm thinking I'm on some other stuff, man. Yeah. So if you watch Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man Far From Home, at the very end, the end credits, you see Nick Fury in a different... you realize that wasn't the real Nick Fury on Earth with Peter Parker helping him. It was actually someone else that was pretending to be him. And then we see him on a space station flying away with his the new organization that he's built. Yeah, great catch. Sorry about that, guys. I I messed up on that one, and I think I called them. I said they're a terrorist organization. I meant, so I don't know. For some reason in my head, I said like that word was in there, but they're counterterrorism, not terrorism. Yeah. So, Ulises says, oh, dang, the scrolls. I forgot they could shapeshift, so meaning they could get into Wanda's world. So check this out. At the end of Spider-Man 2, we realized that the Nick Fury that was there on Earth was actually a Skrull, and it wasn't Nick Fury himself. Nick Fury was on virtual vacation when we caught up with him in the post-credit. Yeah, Hydra's the terrorist, man. That's what dude. So I was thinking, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. It was so funny. William says, Ulises Pina, I have never thought of that. Very possible. He's talking about Ulises saying that the Skrulls could shapeshift, so meaning they are possibly the ones inside Wanda's world. We'll see. We'll find out. Oh, man, that was a good laugh. So Shield is the good guys. Sword are the what would be considered the terrorists, the bad guys. And but no, it's Hydra, and you contrast that with Shield and Sword. And who knows how many freaking times we're gonna see Hydra. Hydra, no matter how many times you beat them, they come back. Oh man, that was funny. Yeah, so here, shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to William. Shout out to Ulises. Shout out to Bob. You know, we're all learning as we go. We're all getting our opinions out there and getting our theories up, and hopefully one of our theories does come true. I'm, as far as me, when I've come up with theories, I'm pretty 50-50. I remember, because I didn't read the Harry Potter books, so I would go in watching each movie, brand new, and I would make a prediction. And I remember for the Harry Potter series, I had a good ratio. I was like 50 for 50. Marvel definitely throws in a wrench every now and then, and it's hard to predict that one. But William writes, Hydra is supposedly dead as well, but with these commercials and the episodes like The Watch and the new one, this episode, they may be coming back. So again, Hydra is always supposedly dead, at least in the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, all this, all these movies. Hydra's always supposedly dead, but they always find a way back. Yep, here we go. This is the comment. Cut off one head, 2 more shall appear. That is true. Hey, really quick, I want to get your guys' opinion. What's your favorite Marvel movie? Or give me your top 3 Marvel movies in the comments. I wanna see what you guys think. Wanda has breakdown. Let's see. Bob says Wanda has breakdown. Vision figures out his fake and helps Wanda and all of the people. Oh, okay. Sorry. Wanda has a breakdown. Vision figures out he's fake and helps Wanda and all of the people in that simulation or in the show are part of Sword. Very, very. That's starting to align with Ulises' theories about people being Skrulls and all these things. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and write my top 3 in the chat. Let's see. What's my okay? And I'm gonna. You know what? Nah, I was gonna cheat, but let me. Let's see. So I got my 2. I typed in 1 and 2, but I'm thinking of 3. Man. All right, here I go. I haven't seen your guys's yet, so hold on. Okay, so William writes his top 3 Marvel movies are Infinity War, Endgame, and Civil War. Oh, wait, those are mine. I swear, check this out. Yep. So mine are Infinity War, Endgame, and Civil War. And the reason why is because I just think there's so much levity in those movies, and there's so much there are so many consequences that those movies have. And just at the end of the day, the team up movies were just amazing. Damn. Ulises says that his favorite Marvel movies are Doctor Strange, Black Panther, and Iron Man. That's a pretty good one. So for me, number 3 was gonna be Doctor Strange, but I had to throw in Civil War because to me, Civil War was that inflection point of the Marvel Cinematic Universe going to where it was going to go. And eventually it became Infinity War and Endgame. So Endgame was my favorite the first time I watched, but Infinity War is my favorite for multiple watches. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. So Endgame, I would say, is my favorite in terms of invoking emotion and invoking like this crazy response from me. But for me, Infinity War to me was like the best comic book movie, remove The Dark Knight, of all time. Like I felt like it was the best like comic book movie. If I was going to try to adapt a comic book and get it onto the big screen, I felt Infinity War was like the culmination of all of that. It was just amazing. Bob writes that his top 3 are Thor, Ultron, and Endgame. So, you know what's crazy is a lot of people have reservations about Age of Ultron, Avengers 2, but I'm a pretty big fan of it. I totally see why it's number 2. If Civil War wasn't on there, you know, again, that number 3 spot for me, you can mix and match a lot of movies. And then as far as Thor being your number 1, I remember the first time I saw Thor, and again, we were barely creating the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That one, Captain America, the original Iron Man, I mean, those ones are like the OGs and the ones that without those, there'd be none of this. I wouldn't be live streaming right now if it wouldn't have been good or successful. So I'm going to go ahead and just ask you guys for your final prediction, just your final prediction for what's going to happen in episode 4. So go ahead and type it into the chat. We'll talk about it a little, and then after that, we'll wrap it up. But let's go ahead and see what we come up with in order for next week. With all the things you guys have said so far, I'm telling you, I'm starting to come up with some stuff, and clarifying that sword is not Hydra. So let me know what you think. And then also, while you guys type that up, I'm gonna go ahead and let me see if you guys. I'm gonna because shout out to you guys. I'm gonna give you guys a one of these. Yeah, shout out to y'all, man. William said that there's not an MCU movie I won't watch. Dark World is probably my least favorite. Thor, Dark World, Thor 2, and not counting the Hulk. So this actually, it's funny. The whole Marvel Cinematic Universe technically started with the Hulk, the Edward Norton Hulk. But, you know, when Jon Favreau got involved and Kevin Feige got involved, that was Iron Man 1. So, yeah, totally agree with you as far as there not being an MCU movie that I would not watch. To me, they've gained so much trust and I have so much admiration for what they do and how they do it. I'm just really excited to see everything they have. Even if WandaVision is slow for some, like, you know, it's building up very slowly. Again, they've just built so much repertoire with me that I'm okay with it because I know it's going to pay off. So for Bob's prediction for next week, he says that he thinks that this is when Vision finds out, and this is when he says that this is when Vision, episode 4 will be about when Vision finds out he's fake. That's a good one. William says, his prediction says, I think the twins will grow up and start experimenting with their powers. I also think the birth was so crazy because the twins' powers were going off spinning the paintings and whatnot. Yes. So, okay, once I read Ulises and once I read your guys's, I'm gonna give you mine, and you're kind of you kind of shaped it too right here. You guys are shaping it as I read these. Bob says the Halloween episode. That's right. Ulysses says, I'm hoping that episode 4 gets back to normal, like William said, but I think the dome will break. So that morphed reality dome that Wanda's in, that everybody's in, will break. That's Ulysses' prediction. So here's my prediction, guys. What if... Man. All right. So you know how they have children now, right? What if... And then this is going back to what Bob said about the loop. So I'm going to combine basically parts of your guys' theory and form my own. So what if Wanda is trying to restart her life? And what I mean by that is, so check this out. And I'm taking bits and pieces from each and one of you. So I'm declaring that this might be a loop until you get it perfectly right. So you have to go through the simulation, but you have to get it right. And so I think that's what she's aiming for, maybe. And she can't get it right. Like, she just can't. There's always hiccups. There's always this and that. But, you know, I think she goes until the end and then it starts over. So that's part of the theory. And then second is, you know how she gave birth to twins, and you're saying that they had powers and that they have and they were accelerated as far as being alive. What if in this weird way she's giving birth I don't even know where I'm going with this, or I know where I'm going with this, but it's weird. What if she's giving birth to herself and to her twin brother? Oh, wait. But wait, no, never mind. My theory falls apart because I believe the two babies were boys. Were they? I was about to get crazy on y'all as far as my my prediction. Here, I'm pulling it up right now. I'm going to check if they are boys, both of them boys. If it's a girl and a boy, then we'll see. Hold on. Both are boys. Okay, sorry. Thank you, Ulises. They're both boys. And yeah, so check this out. Bob and the crew are saying that the twins are from the comics. Yes, so they are from the comics. But I didn't realize that it was the two boys. And what I was saying was that the twins were going to end up being this. If it was a girl and a boy, what I was going towards was that. What if she's trying to like. Oh man, this is hard to explain. What if she's trying to like give birth to her and her? Oh man, it's weird saying it, but I'm basically trying to say, what if she's trying to like get it right by continually like birthing herself? And yeah, this is getting weird. So let's drop that theory. But yeah, and check this out. William says, I get where you're going, but that would just be too crazy. Absolutely. And obviously Marvel has a huge track record of being in line with of pulling, you know, source material from the comics. So you're absolutely right as far as the boys, the twins, they're from the comics. But yeah, Ulises, what I was trying to say is she's trying to rebirth until she gets it right to where her and Vision live this perfect life. But that obviously crumbles now that, you know, we've confirmed it's two boys and not a boy and a girl. So yeah, I guess with those parameters, then a theory that I could come up with now is that at least for episode 4, we'll find out that that they are in this dome, they are in this warped reality that Wanda set off, and but within that, the people stuck inside there, the people in there, I feel are part of SWORD, but my only question is, how did they get in there? Is it a warp, like is it a dome where you can just walk in? Or, you know, is it a force field where you're not allowed in? So it's the people in there that are like that. But Bob writes a great thing, which is Wanda is her own villain. I mean, especially from the last part of this episode 3, we can totally confirm that they have this ability to be able to be a like very scary, like make this a very horror like show. They're obviously not going to do that because it's on Disney Plus and it's a little risky to do that for this show. But I definitely do think that part in the episode where we see Wanda, where she finally got rid of the lady in her living room, and she's tucking in her boys. She's basically, there was a very crazy, creepy vibe in that scene, and I really want to see more of that. I really do, and I want to see some like crazy stuff. So William's saying that, I don't know if you heard or not, but Benedict Cumberbatch, that's Doctor Strange, the actor that plays Doctor Strange, is on the cast for one of the last episodes of WandaVision. And she is also casted for Multiverse of Madness. Yes. So WandaVision is actually going to be like a huge character in Multiverse of Madness, the Doctor Strange movie. It's basically actually like a co-movie. It's Doctor Strange plus Wanda. So this is obviously leading into that. I did not know Benedict Cumberbatch was actually listed for one of the later episodes in WandaVision. I mean, that changes absolutely everything. Getting Doctor Strange into this show would completely, like, there's so many possibilities, guys. I'm so excited. Especially with the conversation we're having. It's really exciting because, again, the sitcom aspect of this show isn't for everyone, but without having conversations like these, it would make the show a little less exciting. But being able to discuss this and come up with stuff and realize that, man, we have no clue what's in store, and knowing Marvel, how good they are at surprising us and satisfying us as the fans, it's almost limitless, and it's going to be so freaking fun to watch. And Bob says, R.I.P. to Vision. Yeah, R.I.P. to Vision, man. He he got messed up, man. So William thinks that, I think by the end of the series, the reality in the MCU will be torn to shreds. And the plot of Spider-Man is caused by this, with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, and then the plot of Doctor. So, if you guys don't know, Spider-Man 3 is currently filming, or it might have already wrapped, but it's basically getting made, going to be put into post-production pretty quick, and it's coming out, oh man, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's coming really soon. It's one of the ones that are coming at the beginning of, it's either end of this year or first half of next year. And so, long story short, Spider-Man 3 is delving into a multiverse of mess, because from the reports, we're getting people from different Spider-Man universes. So the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and the villains in those movies, they're all signed on to be in Spider-Man 3. So the only way you can do that, though, is to introduce the multiverse. And going back to what Will said, I think by the end of the series, the reality in the MCU will be torn to shreds. Dude, that gave me chills. That straight up gave me chills, because I didn't even think of that either, man. Like, yeah, so we will probably see the MCU and its reality as we know it torn to shreds, and then we catch up with them in Spider-Man 3. We see this multiverse craziness that happens, and then, like you said, Doctor Strange comes in with his movie and the Multiverse of Madness, and basically fixes it or does something that, basically creates the new MCU post Endgame. Man, this is freaking good. Yo. Yeah, and William was saying that Doctor Strange is going to fix the reality. Oh, man, and we haven't even talked about the mutants. Holy, the mutants, oh my gosh, man. Crazy. Bob, thank you so much, brother. Bob's saying that he's going to subscribe and he's dropping a like. I appreciate that so much. Honestly, my whole reason for wanting people to subscribe is honestly for this, to hang out, talk about the stuff that we love, talk about theories and where it might be going. That's what that subscription button's for, man. I just would love for you to get notified whenever I have these videos so you guys can come on. We can all talk about it, have some fun, and not do this alone, because I know what it's like to do this alone, and I know it's not as fun. So thanks so much, Bob. And yeah, Ulysses, what William said earlier is freaking it's blowing my mind right now. William saying, also, beside the point, I don't know if you watched Daredevil on Netflix, but Charlie, who plays Daredevil, recently came out and said he has a part in... Yo, I thought... Oh my gosh. So if you guys don't know, Daredevil, the Netflix version, Charlie Cox is the lead actor for that. He plays Daredevil. And obviously Netflix had to axe their whole Marvel slate. Every Marvel movie they had basically got canceled. But they're so well received and they're so well made that the fans were like, yo, what the heck? What's up? So a lot of people were pretty upset about The Punisher and Daredevil being, basically canceled. But seeing this, that Charlie Cox has a part in Spider-Man 3 means they're bringing it back. And I did just read that Kevin Feige actually was toying with the idea of reviving the Netflix Marvel version shows. So that's great news, though. The Charlie Cox being in Spider-Man 3. And yeah, Bob, I didn't even mention Deadpool. I don't know how they're going to do it. If you guys heard, Kevin Feige actually the other day talked about Deadpool, and that he confirmed they are making a Deadpool 3 in the fashion that Ryan Reynolds made it. So it's going to be rated R. It's going to be crazy. It's not going to hold back. Oh man, yeah. Iron Fist did get axed on Netflix. Basically, all the shows got axed. But obviously, if you've watched Kevin Feige, I mean that man has a plan from here to probably 2050. He's way ahead of the game. There was a reason why they axed the Netflix version of the shows, and it has to do because he knows what he's going to do with them, and he knows how to implement them into his MCU. And I know this is a topic for another discussion, but Kevin Feige is also producing a Star Wars film. If you're a Star Wars fan, do a thumbs up or something, or let me know if you're a Star Wars fan. He is producing a movie over there, and it's gonna be bonkers, man. That's probably like the movie I'm looking forward to the most on the Star Wars side. Yeah, and sorry. And what I mean by axed, Ulysses, William brings up a good point. What I mean by axed is they got canceled as far as continuing, getting funded to make more. They're not off the streaming platform. They're on Netflix if you want to watch them. Yeah, because William's saying that Netflix will never get rid of these shows. As the MCU grows, those shows get attention as well, which is why I also think Netflix won't have an issue with Marvel Studios taking the helm on those shows. Exactly. So, for example, if you watch the Punisher Season 1, they're not going to get rid of it. They're going to host it on Netflix because it's Netflix's, they own it, or, that production. Going to keep it on Netflix. And it's their way, it's their remembrance of being able to lease and have Marvel content on their platform. Because once Disney Plus, got all of its leases back and all of its licensing back, they're I don't think they're going to be leasing out any of their content. They want you to come over to Disney Plus. But yeah, so with all the great stuff that Marvel does, I'm telling you, there's no way Netflix will take these shows off their streaming platform because they were so good. Yes, R.I.P. Stanley. And yeah, it's ironic that what's crazy is that Stan stayed alive until he got to journey through the entire Infinity War saga. And that's just crazy. Like if you think of timing and like you're saying, irony, yeah, and he didn't get to see Endgame, but what I'm saying is he got to, shoot, film his part for that. And did he do it for Spider-Man 3 as well? I believe he did. For Spider-Man 3, he also has a cameo. But what I'm saying is he got to go through the entire Infinity War saga and live through it. Like, yeah. That's pretty ironic. And pretty awesome. That's what I wanted to say. Sorry guys. I got distracted really quick. Let's see. William saying, I hope Stan knew how much he helped out kids with those comics and is still helping with younger generations with the movies. He will always be someone I look up to. William, I can't agree more. I think that's the whole purpose to this channel, the whole purpose to other channels like these. Here at like Filmtopia, the whole point of it is I want this to be a space for people that love pop culture, that love, properties such as Marvel, such as Star Wars, all these movies that take us out of, where we are, and they let us for, maybe a few minutes or a few hours escape to a different place. And you're totally right, man. These comics and these movies and everything they're creating and have created before, it's completely, people don't understand the power of movies, of comics, of reading, of shows, of media. Like, I'll speak for myself. I grew up in a household, and I didn't have a father growing up, and there's a lot of things that in life, where I felt like alone. And the one thing that was always there for me though were these properties, these movies, these characters, and they made me feel like I was a part of something. And that's the whole point to Filmtopia and to what I do. I don't want anybody to have to go through what I went through and a lot of other people do. So the more we can talk about this, hang out, and have a good time, then I've done my job. So William says, I really like the whole Marvel Studios office, and most of the cast members truly enjoy making the fans happy and prioritize that over revenue, which is something I didn't feel with the Star Wars sequel. So that's a conversation for a different day, the Star Wars part. I totally agree with you, though. But that's why Marvel's so unique in what they do and the leadership they have and the people they choose for these parts. The reason why it's so awesome is because they care, man. Like they care. They're excited. It bleeds through their work. We get great, products. And the beauty is that, it basically confirms that theory where people say if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. That's, I think, the approach Marvel has executed. And look, all the revenue, they have the biggest box office movie of all time. That has to do with because they followed and they created these beautiful movies and series with love and with the fans in mind. And they weren't trying to push any agendas. They weren't trying to package this in a way for people to get, surprised or anything. They just do what they know is right, and it shows, man. I can't wait to see the next 20 years of Marvel. The next 20 years of Marvel is going to be so incredible. I think it's not going to I don't think it's going to dwindle as far as like their approach to what they're doing. I think it's only going to get better, and that's crazy to say. Now for Star Wars, man, like I said, that's a conversation for a different day, and they better get their stuff together. Shout out to Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and that team, and let's hope they right the ship. Yeah. And William also says he felt that same way with Game of Thrones. Bob saying that I like how it went from WandaVision to Endgame. Yeah, it's but yeah, so hey, I want to wrap this up with just saying thank you guys so much for hanging out, for leaving all the great comments, all the great questions, all the great theories. I had loads and loads of fun doing this. Last week, there was no one in here, and it was a completely different experience. But this week, I didn't expect this. This was awesome. We got to experience this together, and we got to talk about it. And yeah, man. So thank you guys. Bobby, I'll catch you later. Thanks so much, man. Bob, thank you so much. And William, I'm streaming, so you can for sure. I'm for sure streaming on Thursday or Friday night midnight, so like around this time for every WandaVision episode, every single one. I'll be here, but I'm also going to be live streaming certain shows I'm putting together. So I'm putting together like a weekly Star Wars show, a weekly Marvel or superhero show, possibly a daily talk show, and those would be live streamed and then kept on the YouTube channel. And so as far as how often I'll be going live, it's not set in stone yet, but there's a possibility for a lot of times throughout the week. But for sure, come and hang out with me every midnight whenever WandaVision initially drops. I'll be here. And then Bob says, do I play any video games? So currently I haven't really been on top of my video games, but if that's something you guys would be interested in, I would totally be down. And what would be awesome is if we could, if we could all get together and stream it, that'd be pretty cool. I'm down. And yeah, Ulises, fun talking to everyone. Totally, bro. Hey, check this out. So go over to on Instagram. I'm typing this into the chat. On Instagram, connect with me and follow the account so we can connect. And the account is called My Filmtopia. So at My Filmtopia. Currently, if you go on it like right now, it's gonna look blank. It's not like it looks like it's a fake account. Trust me, it's just because I'm setting it up. But go ahead and follow it. And here, actually, while we're here, I might as well just maybe log in. Or actually, I'll do that afterwards. But basically, if you go on Instagram, go ahead and just connect with me there. And then maybe we can set something up, or, you know, keep you more informed as far as when I'll live stream and all these things, or what video games we could play. This is the comment I would love to end on. William saying, all I've been able to think about this past week is the MCU and this show. Imagining every possibility that there is. Same. My GF isn't really into the MCU, so I always appreciate having other people to talk about it. Dude, perfect. That's exactly why I started this, because I had the same exact problem. I had no one to talk to about this, and now, you know, I think we all found each other, and we're going to have a good time every week. And so, yeah, make sure to just subscribe so you can get notified when I upload all these videos. I basically do breaking movie, TV show, and streaming news. I get those up, basically every single day as breaking news pops up. I throw on a video giving my thoughts about it, or just breaking the news. And then on top of that, I have some other stuff in the works that I'm working on. And then on top of that, I have live streams such as this one. And yeah, so where we get to hang out and talk about all this stuff. Can't wait. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Ulises, William, Bob, thank you so much for hanging out. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace out, guys. And yeah, it's almost been an hour. For me, it's been 2 hours. All right, guys. There we go, William. Subbed on here, and we'll drop a follow on Insta. See you next week. See you next week, guys. Later, guys. Woohoo! That was fun.